walking along, minding my business, when out of an orange-colored sky, flash, bam, alakazam, wonderful you came by. I was humming a tune, drinking in sunshine, when out of that orange-colored view, flash, bam, alakazam, I gotta look at you. Well, here we go. Hi, Elaine. Elaine's always the first one. Hi there. Tammy, hi, Lynn, Joanne. Here we go. Now we're getting started. That great little song was written by Nat King Cole. Love that. Orange-colored sky. Flash, bam, alakazam. I gotta look at you. Hi from Seattle, Newberry, Ohio. Hi from Michigan, Tammy. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Nice to see everyone. Same old, same old. I love it. Same people. Anja, Dana from Oregon. There we go. From Utah. Here we go. Let's see. Becky. We'll wait a few more minutes and we'll get started. I've got my remedies waiting here for us to talk about tonight. We're not going to follow the Materia Medica tonight. We're taking just a little detour because back to school matters. And it doesn't matter if you're really going back to school or your children are going back to school. It's this time of year, and this time of year is the time where lots is happening. Weather changes. I'm in a place where it's kind of getting cool. It's actually very nice, great sleeping weather, nice cool breezes at night, sunny afternoons. It's wonderful. All righty, let's see. I think we got enough folks here so we can get started. So, Joette Calabrese here every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Once we started doing this consistently, I've stayed consistent, and it's really great. I love this. It puts a lot of consistency in my life. It keeps me on time, on task. Let's make sure we get something out every Monday. We get our blog out every Sunday night. We do our podcast every couple of weeks, every 2 weeks. It's wonderful. I love it. And so it allows you then to be able to count on this information, and that you can know that I'm there. I'm here. I'm here for you. I've got your back is one way to say it. I try to do that. I try to be available with information. I can't be available personally as readily, although I do answer the questions on the blog. Once in a while I miss a few, but I feel pretty committed to that. So people can ask questions. I ask that they stay within the realm of the subject of the blog, but nonetheless, I think I stay pretty tight on that. I check that blog several times a day. Well, maybe 3 times a day. So tonight we are going to talk about 3 medicines you absolutely must own for back to school. Even if no one in your household is returning to school, you still need to own and know how to use these staples. Now, these are not going to be all that new to you, but I'm reiterating them because I think they're so valuable that I want you to know that this is what I keep. I never run out of these medicines. I make sure that if I'm about to run out, I don't wait till I do. I actually make sure that I own it in advance. And my first one is for trepidation, that anxiety that comes with a child, a teenager, even an adult, with trepidation of starting a new job, starting a new setting, first day of kindergarten, first day of college. There's a lot of excitement, but if there's angst, now you're not going to give this for someone who gets excited because that's a positive thing, but if there's a pathology to it, and what I mean by that is that the person is feeling, this is too much, the butterflies are turning into monsters in my stomach, I need to know what to do to calm that down. It can also be used for before going for a medical test, before going to the dentist, before a presentation that you or your husband might have. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. And I've written about it, and many of you already know about it, but it is Gelsemium. Now, I happen to have Gelsemium 30 here. But I also use Gelsemium 6. I like that also very much. And I use it twice a day. I don't use it just, once and see how it works. I find that most homeopathic medicines, generally speaking, need repetition. So if someone had a dental appointment on Friday and they started to freak on Tuesday, you would start Gelsemium right away. You would start on Tuesday because that's when the pathology is beginning. So you start right away with the Gelsemium twice a day, every day. If instead that person doesn't have any angst to go to the dentist until Friday morning with the afternoon appointment, that's when you start it. Start it when it happens. Don't assume, well, you must be anxious. No, either they're anxious or they aren't. If they're not, then don't give anything. If they are, this is when you use it. So as you know, homeopathy differs from holistic paradigms because this is not an essential oil that you say, oh, what the heck, let's just throw it in there. Let's throw it into the mix. Can't hurt anything. Or a supplement, oh, vitamin C. Oh, well, it's kind of fall, so let's just take some vitamin C. That's not the way this works because homeopathy is medicine regulated in the US by the FDA as medicine. It is not a supplement or a vitamin, etc. Then we have to take it a little more seriously. And so we don't treat what is not there. So when it's there, use it. When it's not there, then hold off until it comes, and perhaps it'll never come. And just because you know this medicine doesn't mean you jump on it. I know the feeling. That's why I'm laughing. Because when I was new to homeopathy, I was just waiting for someone to get sick in my household or injured. I almost couldn't wait so that I could use these medicines and try them out and see how it went. So, but that's not the way this works, folks. Do wait. Hold back, hold back, hold back. Steady yourself. So Gelsemium is great medicine. Gelsemium was used during the Civil War. This is a very sad story, but it's important that you know this because it'll help you remember it. It was used during the Civil War before the young men went off to battle. They would get very anxious. Of course, they knew what was forthcoming. Sometimes the anxiety is so great that the person has gut issues, diarrhea, colitis, that kind of thing. And so then you know that that's even more likely that it's going to be Gelsemium. And so they gave this, on the front lines at the Civil War, there were doctors who were homeopaths. Homeopathy was very big in those days. So they gave these poor young lads Gelsemium. I don't know if they probably gave it to them in a 30X is my guess, because that's what was most often used back in the 1800s and the 1850s. And so that's going to be a great medicine. When the person no longer needs it, you no longer use it. In other words, if they get into that dental office, or they get into kindergarten, or they get to that new campus and they're fine and everything is okay, then back off. Now, perhaps it was because they didn't need it so much as you thought they did, or it was that you used Gelsemium and it corrected the problem. But whatever, then you can stop. If it comes back again, don't think, oh no, the medicine's not working. No. It means you need to use it again. So it's just like when it's cold outside and you put a sweater on and you warm up a little bit, but you're still cold, then you might put a shawl on and you warm up a bit, and you're still not there yet. And then you might put some extra warm socks on, and it works, but you still see. So if you need more to get warmed up, if you need more, parenthetically, to feel better emotionally, you continue using it until you're warm, until the angst has resolved. So that's how you're going to remember to do this, particularly for an acute. And that's what I'm talking about here, pretty much as an acute. Now, let me also mention one other thing about Gelsemium. I'm talking about acutes tonight, meaning they have a very clear beginning and a clear ending. They are short-lived. It's not for long-term. But sometimes we have people who have angst on a regular basis, kids who just are so anxious going to school, they can't stand all of the worry. Then I would consider using Gelsemium in a 6 twice a day, sometimes in a 30 twice a day for weeks, months, until you can get it resolved. And generally we should see a shift within a few weeks. It's best not to ask them as much as it is to observe. Because if you ask, they'll say, yeah, maybe I still have anxiety. You know, they're still experiencing something, but you want to observe, oh yeah, see ya, going off to school, bye. Whereas before it was, oh God, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. That you will notice the difference. Okay. Second one is ColdCalm. This is a combination medicine. Now, I'm planning on doing some more work on this. I want to really do some more information on this. I don't know if it'll be on Facebook Live or if it'll be on my blog, but I want you to know that I think combination medicines are the bee's knees. Not all combination medicines. I don't like when there are 30 medicines all mixed in together and they're just throwing it at the wall to see what will stick. What I do like are those combination medicines made by Boron. I like Washington Homeopathics combination medicines. I like Washington there in West Virginia. I like Hahnemann Pharmacy's combination medicines. They're out in San Francisco area. I like OHM, if you happen to be a student or a client of mine. They make some nice combination medicines. But I don't like those that you do not recognize. Highlands, I like Highlands combinations. Be careful though. You know, the FDA is cracking down more likely on these pharmacies that are not regulated properly and are mixing many medicines together and just kind of throwing it and seeing how it works. I believe it's sloppy. I think that this one is different. This ColdCalm, I've heard time and time again how valuable this medicine is. It is specific for a cold. Now, here's the thing with ColdCalm. Oh, thank you, Lisa. You'll send me a great testimony. I love to read testimonies. Please, folks, remember your testimonies. I love to hear from you. I'd like to know that you didn't expect it to work, and there it did. It worked. Or your husband didn't believe in homeopathy, and now he's a believer, etc. I love to hear those. But this ColdCalm is excellent because it's at the onset of the cold. We're not talking about chest. We're talking about more. It's still up here. So you want to keep, these come in these little cards, and you can keep one of these in your purse. You can put it in your child's backpack. You can keep it in your car, and then once it comes on, you can really grab it and take it immediately. So I love this. It's a great combination, ColdCalm. Now, a lot of times folks are confused by colds and flus, and so most people or many people think that a really bad cold must be a flu, but that's not necessarily so. This is something that will really make a difference if you can differentiate. A cold is you're sneezing, you're sniffling, it don't feel so hot, but you're able to carry on your tasks. You are able to go to school, you're able to work. As a mom, you're able to take care of the kids. You might be tired, but you're not dead sick. A flu, you are sick. You're in bed. There's no way you could get up out of bed. Every bone in your body aches. Perhaps sometimes it doesn't come across that way, but you are really, it feels profound. A cold is an annoyance and an inconvenience. A flu feels profound, and it can sometimes even be scary. So that's the difference. Then we can go to flu medicines, and I won't talk about those tonight. Perhaps we'll do that next week, but I only wanted to go over 3 because I find that if we do too many, it just gets confusing. So ColdCalm, so far ColdCalm and Gelsemium. All righty. Third one, you've heard me talk about this so many times, you should be tired of me hearing this, but it's such an amazing medicine. And it's so ubiquitous. I mean, its need is so ubiquitous. It's so profound in our world, especially if you're watching the news, following politics. It can be really disconcerting sometimes. And so the medicine is Ignatia. Not Ignatia 30, not Ignatia 6, Ignatia 200. I really believe it makes a huge difference. And so it's for, most people know it's for grief, right? You know, if you know anything about homeopathy, you know that Ignatia is for grief, but it's for much more than that. It's for being overwhelmed, feeling as though life is crushing down on you, like you've got too much responsibility, worry too much about the kids and your husband and the world, worry and angst and overwhelm, and it's not hormonal. If it's hormonal, we go to a different medicine. If it's a female hormonal issue, it's not gut related. If it's a gut problem, we go to a different medicine. But if it's just that overwhelm and feeling like, I don't know, what's it all about? I'm not so sure this is a good thing. I think I made a poor decision. We second guess ourselves. It's not just being indecisive as much as it is feeling as though your decisions are really poor. And you can't climb out of the angst, worry, and sadness. So there you have it. Gelsemium 30, ColdCalm, which is a combination. Love this medicine. By the way, and the third one is Ignatia 200. Let me just tell you this. When you use a combination medicine, what I love about them is that there are, let's see, I'm going to count. Maybe there are 8 medicines, 10 medicines in here, which is really a lot for boron. But it's very likely that only 1 or 2, maybe 3 of them are actually acting. And so if ColdCalm helps you, this is how you learn homeopathy. Turn over the box and read the ingredients, the homeopathic medicines. Look up each one in your Materia Medica so that you know why it worked. Why was allium cepa in there, for example? Very interesting. Allium cepa's, I think allium cepa's in here. Is allium cepa in here? Yeah, it is. It is the first one. Allium cepa's onion, it makes the nose run. Remember, we talked about that when we were in the A's in my Materia Medica. The nose is running, the eyes are running, the upper lip is excoriating. So if that's happening, you know that it's the allium cepa that's working. The next one is belladonna. I can't read. Oh my gosh, isn't this terrible? I need 2 pairs of glasses. I think the next one might be apis. I can't read the darn thing. Belladonna. Well, belladonna is great for pain, like headaches, etc., and also fevers. So if you've got a fever, so you're going to look up each one of these and know what the value is, so that, let's say you don't have ColdCalm, you know exactly what to look up, and you know exactly where to go in your Materia Medica, and then in your kit, which of course you all own, I'm sure you do, then you can go there and know exactly what to use. Alrighty, let's look at some questions here. Yes, Nancy, my husband had something coming on this weekend, and Aconitum 200 Bryonia 30 kicked it in 1 dose. That's another great medicine. I thought about going on to that one, and we may go over that at another time as well. Aconitum 200 Bryonia 30, it knocks it right out as well. Very good. Aconitum Bryonia is a little bit more cough, sore throat, chest. So let me know. Is that so? Did we, and you used, Nancy also used Gelsemium 6 this week, just this very week. Let me know. Go back and tell me, was it a cough or a sore throat or something that felt a little more respiratory rather than honk honk in the nose? All righty, let's see. Gelsemium for trepidation, anticipatory anxiety. Thank you very much. That's Nathalie, I think, who wrote that for me. Hi. All righty. Brooklyn, Houston. Hi, I'm late. That's cute. Oh, hi from Ireland. Sharon Daly. Sharon Daly there. Wonderful. Let's see. If used for an acute, should the anxiety next time at the dentist back to school be less? No. It's still good. Use the same potency. You can use either 6 or 30. Find out which one you find is most valuable. And it might be different from one member of your family than it is with another. What about trepidation about germs? OCD behaviors. You know, it could be tried, but OCD is generally, we talked about OCD. If you go back a little bit and go back to your Materia Medica and read Aurum. That's a little bit closer, generally speaking. But Gelsemium could also be valuable. Elaine says, I love Ignatia. Healed me on many occasions. Cannot live without Ignatia. You bet. Absolutely. It's a beautiful medicine. I come from a big Italian family. And the next generation up there's no one left. My father just passed away on the paternal side, and my mother's the only one left on my maternal side. And both sides of the family were very large. So I've been to lots of funerals in my day, lots. And I always carried Ignatia with me to give to anyone who was interested. Sometimes people asked me, sometimes they didn't. Okay, for colds, you are so encouraging. Oh, thank you, Michelle. It's nice to see you there. Love to see people I know. Gina, all's good in Maine, Joette. Hi, Gina. Gina raises pups, Jack Russells. Love it. One of these days, if I ever get another dog, it might be a Jack Russell. And if I were to ever consider that, it was going to be one of Gina's dogs. All right. Let's see. Questions. California. The mothers in California all need Ignatia. No kidding, folks. It's happening in New York. It's happening all over the country. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, we won't go into it. I don't like to talk about it online. Hi, Georgia from Toronto. Toronto's a beautiful city. So much information. I'm so glad that you feel that the Materia Medica's got lots of good stuff for you. Anacardium for self-confidence. Yes, sometimes anacardium can be really good for self-confidence. Absolutely. But I start with Gelsemium. I don't know if you can see my thumb. Look how horrible my thumb looks. Look how swollen it is, isn't it? Look how distorted it is. That's the way a thumb is supposed to look. That's the way a thumb is not supposed to. I was gardening yesterday, and I went to pick up stalks, and one of them was driven directly into my thumb. And I pulled it out. It was long. I pulled it out, and it was so painful. So anyone know what I used? I mean, look how that is. Oh, we stopped for a second. Here we go again. Look how awful that is. It's the color is getting blue. It's still a little bit red, and it's swollen. It's got this really odd shape. It looks like Woody Woodpecker or something. It's a really strange looking thumb. Let me know what you think I took last night for this. Okay. There's no pain today. If I press on it now, it hurts only when I really press hard, but there's no pain at all. It's still, but it's still, as you can see, it's still, let's see, it's still swollen. I can't close it up all the way. Cured my kids' ear infections a month ago. Such a great feeling to do it myself. Isn't it amazing? There's nothing like this self-reliance, being able to do this yourself and not relying on antibiotics that are just going to squash the gut. Okay, after he fell asleep. Okay, here we go. My husband had dry cough. That's why that aconitum and Briona helped so well. When he talked, headache, sore throat, see cough and sore throat. After aconitum 200, Bryonia 30, he fell asleep for the night and woke up just fine. Now, it may not be over with. I don't want to scare you, but I not that it would be very scary, but just so you know, it might not be over with, and so you might need to give another one. In fact, maybe just as an insurance, give another dose or two. And that breaks all those homeopathic laws that say, stop, don't use it if it works. But nonetheless, I would still give it one dose or another dose or two. I have the biggest bottle from Washington, the tiniest ones I give. And there we go. That's right. All right. Gelsemium 30 works for me, and Gelsemium 6 works for my daughter. See, we had to try both to see what was best. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know that I could give you a differentiation as to why this one worked for you and that one worked for her. Your thumb. Yep. Ledum. Rachel. Yes. I used Ledum 200. Anything else? Yes. Silica. Courtney. I used Ledum. Silica. Anyone else? Anything else? Because I did. Yes. Lisa Hendricks. I used Hypericum. I actually used Hypericum 200 mixed with arsenicum. Because I just didn't know whether or not it had been broken off and I could get an infection and whether or not it was going to turn septic, because it was very painful all the way down into my hand. It was hurting. There was no line. It was not red, but it was going on here. So I was using Ledum because it was a puncture wound. Silica because there might have been something still remaining in there and need to be pushed out. I soaked it, by the way, in hot water with calendula, mother tincture of calendula. And then I used Hypericum 200 with arsenicum 3. Because I was afraid of infection. And let's see, it happened around 5 o'clock, and the pain was gone before I went to bed, which was about 10. So that's not bad, right? That's not bad at all. It was pretty painful for quite a while. I was, holding it, like a child. Oh, ow, 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 ow. I couldn't hold anything, couldn't do anything. Let's see what else we've got. Hypericum for nerve pain. And it did feel like nerve pain. I mean, it was very, very painful. But also Hypericum's great for infection and the potential of infection.
My husband hugged me.
My husband, yes, it's really true. My husband hugged me. Said, "Don't worry, honey, it'll be okay." But I get, I'm a baby when something happens to me, especially injuries. I need him close to me. I put the dog